favor of what it could be, but not in favor of what it is right now. So I'm suggesting that we conceptually endorse this concept is wonderful, but I really feel like there should be more conversation and input from stakeholders, and then we would be more apt to endorse something. This again, I'll use the word product. I just feel like right now, I'd like to see this plane fly before I buy a seat on it.
So let me suggest this then, Tim, because I'm not sure that I disagree with you too much on this, but I think that we need to tell the Planning and Zoning Board something as to our mindset in relation to this. My recommendation would be kind of as follows. For us to send a community, or to adopt a resolution, have a motion. I mean, it wouldn't really be a motion because it's not procedural. So I guess adopt a statement that based on our conversation here and my feelings of our feedback from the comments, that the Historic Preservation Board supports a TDR program, and we are encouraged by the draft that has been provided to us. However, we are not at this time taking a direct position of the draft as written as to whether or not it should be adopted by the commission.
That sounds fair to me.
I mean, so guys, is that kind of
further discussion and whatever the right word is.
Mr. Chair, I have something I'd like to add if we could.
Yeah.
If we could add to the statement you just mentioned about the reason we're looking forward to something like this to help preserve the historic structures in Fort Lauderdale, and look forward to managing it better.
Yeah, something like, you know, we feel that such a program would encourage
historic preservation
of properties within the city.
Perfect.
It encourages an economic vehicle for the historic preservation property owner.
Sure.
That's good.
All right, so with that, does anybody want to make a motion to adopt a statement?
You make it.
I just have one comment after absorbing everyone's really well made comments and feedback throughout. It's more so directed to Tricia and Sherry. Is there an intent eventually to put forth a marketplace? As we were going through this, I was seeing that other cities have sort of a buy-sell function built into, Tricia, to your point, to sort of where that GIS is baked in, and then it'll locate where availability of certain TDRs are available, what they're asking for them, to create the actual marketplace, other than thinking to myself, only big, larger scale development companies that have the time to scrub for this type of data will have sort of an unfair advantage without the transparency. Call it an MLS for this type of product. Is that the next step? Should this be implemented?
In some cities, the city acts as a TDR bank, and this
right. But if I want to know what's available, like if I want to go and build and I want to get my entitlement to increase to the max density and I want to max out what I have, how do I know who I'm going to shop for, or what I'm going to shop for, and how I obtain these rights? Like it seems like you're navigating in some ways sort of a scavenger hunt, where it seems like there should at least be some platform, and that's the part I don't really understand. And I was going through it as we were speaking again to see if there was even an opening for that. And it's, let's say we implement it, it gets passed, we give planning and zoning our green light, we love it. What's next? How does it function, I guess? Where does it stand as a platform?
Most likely we will be, putting information on our website as far as what the program is. And the city will maintain a list of properties that have applied for a certificate of eligibility.
Got it.
As far as how that's displayed or how that's shared, I'm not sure, but it would be public record. And further information could be described on the website, but I don't have an exact answer as far as what that would look like.
And I guess one follow-up question: if I own a historical property and I want to sell it and I want to sell my rights, could I assign that TDR to another person who could then shop that and aggregate them and sell them in bulk? Is there sort of that ability that's in there for them to be grabbed up by people that are not owners, or would that void on the certificate of eligibility?
We don't have that language that would permit that in our
okay.
Wait, I'm sorry, you don't have that language that would permit it, Sherry, or you don't have a language to prohibit it?
Well, you bring up a good point, whether or not we want to outright prohibit it. But the language that we have here is stating that you have to be an owner or receive an affidavit authorizing you to do this from the owner. So it's an owner-to-owner transaction. That's how we drafted it.
Seems like the affidavit would allow me to bank it, though. If I
Yeah.
want to form an entity to just assign my interest as the owner,
Right.
and I pay fair market value consideration for it, I'm just trying to.
Well, we have it attached
Yeah.
to the property. So there's a restrictive covenant on the receiving property, on the sending property. There's a restrictive covenant on that. And then on the receiving property, there's a certificate of transfer. So they're both recorded. So they're on the properties in perpetuity. So it shouldn't be assigned because they're on the properties.
But Richard, I think you hit the point, is that if you as an owner sign an affidavit allowing me to shop your rights,
Correct.
take a 10% cut of what you get, I don't think that's being prohibited. So all of a sudden it's Jason B. Blank, TDR Inc., going around and saying, hey, do you know that you're able to make some money on these rights? I don't see that that's prohibited, which could be a good thing. By the way, let me know.
I heard of similar type of actions happening in Miami, and I don't know where they ended. But I've gotten a solicitation for something along those lines. So just where I'm more so back to the platform of how it happens. And Trish, I think that you really set that out, and that subsequent question was kind of born out of the first one. But I guess you got to take a stab at it and get it started before you start to see these wrinkles unfold.
Sure.
And then, Jason, I think maybe the word I was looking for when whoever makes the motion was clarification on the mechanics of how this thing works. That's what's holding me back from just saying, yeah, let's go ahead and let's do this, because I really want to see something that has some value and a product that really works well and everybody understands how it could be used. One of the scenarios that I was discussing today was, say, we're in, and I'm using this is very much like, not real, but say you're in Victoria Park and you do buy up a bunch of properties, and some of them are historic and some of them are not, and they're never going to be. So you want the area to look nice. You want everything to be, the neighborhood to be complement to historic that you preserve as a developer, and you want to build something new. So you buy those historic properties, you use those rights to do redevelopment in the same area, because it's not a historic neighborhood, but you're spending your money as a developer, you're getting a value to do something good that's going to keep a non-historic area that's going to go blighted and redevelop that. And you're keeping the historic properties in the condition that historic preservation is asking for. So there's some great ways that this could be used. And like anything else, there's always ways that it could be abused. I mean, that's in everything. So all I'm looking for is the mechanics of this thing to be clarified so that whoever's involved, whether you're the sender or the receiver, you know what you're selling and what you're getting for it, you know what you're buying and what you could do with it.
Sure.
And
I think that we may be able to get some of that before this goes before the commission, and we may not. Right. Some of that may be kind of in the post planning stage of how, what's the document going to look like? What is the form going to look like? What are you going to have to fill out? I don't know. But I think you bring up another valid point. I got to tell you, I mean, I think the board's position is clear at this point. We support it in theory. We think it's a good idea. We like it. We just aren't sold on it as written yet. We want to know more. And I think that's basically the bottom line. So I can't make the motion because I'm the chair. So I need somebody else to make the motion with the wording. So I will be happy to entertain a motion for our communication regarding the TDR draft at this time.
Did we have anyone from the public that wanted to speak? I'm not sure if you did that yet.
We did do that, and there was nobody who responded.
Okay, great.
Unless there's anybody else here. If anybody else showed up, feel free, let us know now. We're happy to hear from you. Nope, I see a hand raised. Hang on, wait a minute. Zoom technology is great. I see a hand raised. Stephanie Wedgeworth is an attendee, and she has raised her hand. I believe she wants to be heard on this. I'll let you all take it from here. She is going
Stephanie?
to be sworn.
Stephanie, can you hear us?
Yes.
Hi, Stephanie. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to ask Sherry to go ahead and swear you in as a member of the public, I'm assuming, to be heard on this.
Yes.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes. Yes. Yes, I do.
Great. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Go ahead. What you have, Trish, correct me if I'm wrong, Sherry, but I think Ms. Wedgeworth is going to have 3 minutes to address us.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Wedgeworth, you have 3 minutes to address us and give us any comments you have on this issue.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for listening. I was just observing. I'm listening as a person that lives in Sailboat Bend, and I'm also listening as a new vice president of Sailboat Bend Civic Association. So I would love the opportunity. I think that we, the Sailboat Bend Civic Association and our members would love the opportunity to know more about this, since I think a lot of our properties in this area may be affected by this. So I don't know enough, and I own one of these historic homes, so I would love to invite whoever wants to come to, a civic association meeting and maybe give us some more information, or maybe provide us with whatever information that we feel that our members and citizens need to know in this area so they can fully understand that. So I think I heard Tricia mention that you had reached out to the Civic Association, but wasn't able to get an opportunity to present at the meeting. So if that is something that's still an opportunity, we would like for that to happen.
All right, great. Thank you so much. And we will certainly make sure that Trish is aware. I know that she works with you all very closely, so I'm sure she'll be able to try to coordinate that moving forward.
Okay, that's wonderful. Because I know last time we spoke to Tricia, we were still waiting on what's contributing and what's non-contributing in this area. So I think all of this kind of ties together and would help us get a better idea of how to move forward.
Great. Thank you so much for your comments. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else from the public that wishes to be heard at this time? I see there is one other attendee, but I don't see any hands raised. All right, so we'll close public comment. At this point in time, I will address or entertain any motions regarding our communication or statement regarding the proposed TDR.
I can try and make a motion that the board is in general support of the concept of TDRs as a excellent vehicle to promote historic preservation in the city, as well as to provide some kind of economic basis for the owners of these historic properties. And there was something else we talked about, and I'm not remembering it now.
We wanted clarification on the mechanics of how it works, or we still had questions.
Further clarification about the process and how this will work.
What was the word you used, Jason?
Oh, I don't know. I just speak. All right. Well, we look forward to learning more. I think that's the key.
Yeah.
And gathering more information, right, Arthur? That's what you're meaning?
I agree. That's exactly what I wanted to say.
I thought that's what you meant. Is there a second to Arthur's motion?
Could you read it back to us?
Did anybody write it down?
Yeah, well, I'm sure Jamie is taking copious notes.
Yeah, yes, I did.
Go ahead, Jamie, if you could read that back, just if you're able to.
The board is, the board is in general support of the concept of TDRs as an excellent vehicle to promote historic preservation in the city, as well as provide an economic something for historic property owners. But the board would like further clarification about how the process would work.
That should be an economic incentive for property owners.
Okay.
I think that's well stated. Is there a second to the motion as read back? I need somebody to second the motion if we're going to be voting on it.
I'll second.
Thank you. Seconded by Mr. Rosa. Any discussion on the motion as proposed by Mr. Marcus? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye or holding up your yes card.
Yes.
All right. Any opposed? He's got an eye. Any
I love-
opposed?
I love that.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the motion carries. So that will be the communication that is adopted by the board in relation to the TDR draft that was discussed at this evening's meeting. That can be communicated to the Planning and Zoning Board so that they will certainly hear our expert opinion on this matter. Seeing no other agenda items at this point, are there any other communications to the city commission or anything to the city that we need to address this evening? All right, hearing none. Any other matters for the good of the city from any of the board members that we need to address or discuss tonight?
Wash your hands and wear a mask.
Wash your hands, wear a mask.
Play by the rules.
Yep, follow the rules.
Absolutely.
And I would, again, I was very excited to find, to see that our board members all accepted the materials electronically this meeting. I think that's a wonderful thing. It's good for the environment. It also saves some taxpayer dollars. So that's a great thing. And I encourage all of our board members to continue to do that throughout their terms. All right, if there is nothing further, anything from staff or from legal that we need to address prior to adjourn?
I do not have anything.
Thank you. Nothing from legal?
Nothing, thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn at this time.
I'll move to adjourn.
Thank you so much. We are moved and we are adjourned at 6 p.m. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Great seeing you all. Love that eye.
Okay, thanks. Good night.